All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, clearly you know what this video is going to be about. It's understanding people like Taylor Hawkins, rest in peace, but also people like Questlove that are innovators, creative, and energetic, passionate musicians. Is the reason why people like me, that I am no longer a professional, but someone that continues to respect all those musicians, creators, innovators, and really to be able to play, simple beats. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a special edition. So, bueno, aquí estamos. Let's go. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Noan El Boricua, and I'm coming to you actually from my home church as I'm actually here on stage. And you probably saw part of me saying hi to you guys after our intro song. I was just making some noise, and I think it's only right because I've been trying to process for me, and again, it being Fuel Pasión Friday, what is it that constantly motivates us to go out and get after it? And I think for me, it's been interesting because years ago when I had the opportunity to play in a Spanish rock band called Axis, they actually, a lot of the inspiration of our music was from The Police, Maná, as well as like Coldplay. And for me, it was the Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl, Taylor Hawkins. And when I look at Foo Fighters, I look at Maná, I look at The Police, I look at these three very distinct drummers. And one thing was always very in common, that they were really good at playing a lot of 8 notes, 16 notes when it comes to the ride or the hi-hat. But more importantly, when I watched videos, let it be on YouTube or even some of the DVDs that I have, they were just passionate. They were in love, and they were a craftsman of the drums. And I think for me, when the news hit of Taylor Hawkins, it really hit me hard. It was completely out of left field. And I'm just, I guess at the end of the day, I'm just grateful for Taylor Hawkins. Look, I don't know how his life was, as far as what it looked like, there's always gonna be speculations, but I think at the end of the day for me was that he just was energetic, passionate, and he was truly a craftsman at his craft of playing the drums. And I think a lot of times we need to reflect and think about that. So today's episode, it's a little somber, but it might be a little quick for you guys. The only other thing I was thinking about was just Questlove. I'm not gonna talk about the other situation that is trending still of what happened, the incident, because right after that incident, the mini documentary was none other than Questlove, drummer of The Roots. Many know him from Jimmy Fallon, as he sits in with The Roots for their music. And I think for me, that was I don't know if you guys have checked out, the latest documentary. I think Hulu's playing it again. Highly recommend it. I think for me, the biggest thing that I learned from Questlove, and I posted this on my IG stories earlier this week, is that back in 2005, Modern Drummer actually had, he was on the cover, and he was kind of like a cyborg Terminator look. And what I really appreciated about him was that he understood loops, digital DJ beats, vinyl records, and how to implement that into the craft. So again, for me, when I think of Questlove, I think of just this rhythm, but yet this innovative approach to a very old soul of music, of drumming. And I think for many drummers out there, there's always these two camps. If you're into music, you know what I'm talking about, where it's either stick with the basics or you push the envelope all the way to threshold. I think Questlove, for me, in my opinion, he's right in the middle. But I don't think people realize, I think he was really, for me, the one that really understood hip hop and live drumming. And I'm grateful for Questlove, and congrats. I know Questlove, you don't follow me, but if anybody follows him, man, I just want to say thank you, Questlove, for your inspiration, because the band that I was in, we used loops, we used sound effects, and that was all because of you, So I used to have it on the side of the hi-hat for me. So I had an iPod, the old school iPod, and I would play the beats, and it was really cool. One ear, this monitor, I would have the metronome, or basically keeping me on time, and then in this other one right here, you can't see it, but this other ear, it would be the vocals and everybody else and the loops. So I'm really grateful. Now, what are some lessons that we can take away from these drummers and really just musicians in general? Number one, I said it last week, I'm going to tell you again, it's all about practice. We need to constantly practice whatever you're creating, whatever you're working on, whatever you're studying about. I need you to constantly be practicing, no matter if it's a side hustle, a weekend warrior, hobby type of thing, or it's actually a thing of yours, like that's what you're trying to get after. Practice, always practice. The second thing that I want to tell you is have fun with it. I think a lot of times we don't realize that a lot of the crafts and talents and gifts that God has given us, it's something that we are to enjoy, that we are not to be upset or always, I get it. Some of you, including myself, we're perfectionists at what we do. So sometimes the joy kind of gets sucked out of it because we're so intentional of wanting to be perfect. But I just want you to have fun, enjoy the moment. I think there's something beautiful when you have musicians that really understand, I don't want to drop my phone, put it over here on the side. That's something that's really cool is that the discovery and the joy of playing is some of the greatest songs out there in the history of just music, no matter the genre. And I think the last thing, not only do we need to practice, not only should we have fun, but I think we should always constantly just be curious. And curious because of the fact that I know for me, in my prime of playing the drums, I wasn't the best. But I was always curious to find out what subtle nuances can I add to my arsenal. Remember, I always talk about the tool belt. It's the same thing for me in music. I always thought about what's the next tool that I can add. I have, I have this loop, simulator MIDI that plays these sound effects. Can I add different cymbals? So back in the days, I used to have a whole bunch of cymbals and I only played literally a 4-piece kit. It was kind of unreal. I had more cymbals than drums, but that was the point. It was about being curious. There was some days where I only had one cymbal and maybe I had a bigger drum set. The whole point is be curious, because in the curiosity, in the approach that we do in work, in our life, in hobbies that we love, you're gonna find out and you're gonna unlock really the true essence of who you are and what you can do. I don't think we realize the power of our mind, the power of our soul, of what we can do when we practice, we have fun, and we stay curious at what we love to do. So that's what I have for you guys. It's been an interesting week, and I hope that you guys can just find the positivity in it. And for me, I actually played longer than what I recorded this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the different angles. Again, I'm still trying. We're trying to learn here at Pasión podcast. So, como siempre, check us out. We are live in season 4, so we hope you guys are enjoying our audio podcast series. So check it out. I threw up the website there for you guys. Hopefully, maybe you consider to partner with us. Thank you for all of you that are the real ones that have been really listening, liking, sharing, rating. I really, really appreciate that, because that means a lot. It helps us to be able to push the envelope and for me, really just be better at my craft. This is a craft, and I'm learning. I'm being curious by watching a lot of you out there that do the same stuff that I'm doing, because I want to just get better. And we only do that when we're in community. Ooh, that's a bonus one. Bonus. All right, that's all I got for you guys. Como siempre, immerse yourself in la cultura. Always grow in your faith. Y como siempre, remember, make those conexiones in life. Y como dice mi abuelita, que Dios te bendiga.